Hey everybody, welcome to the Contractor Click podcast. I'm joined here with Maddie Barrera and Danny Barrera. What are we talking about today, Danny?
Man, this is an exciting episode. Building the digital ecosystem, the 7-11-4 strategy for home improvement contractors. I can't wait to share and unpack this episode.
This is a really good episode, and it's kind of interesting because this is a Google study, right?
Mm-hmm.
But what's interesting is that I feel like we've been talking, at Contractor Click, we've been talking about this for a really long time now. So it's almost like interesting that Google took these conversations that we've had with our people in our one-on-one calls, and they're actually taking this information into like this really important study. So I'm super excited to talk about this.
Yeah, well, it's been rolled out for a few years, which is the 0 moment of truth. That is, you can Google that, ZMOT, and then type in 7-11-4 strategy. If you go to the contractor.click/podcast, in there, we'll make sure to add the links for references, because this is, if you're a home improvement contractor, one of the questions we get asked is like, hey, how do I differentiate myself among all the competitors? Like, what should I be doing if I want to dominate my area, if I want to be the best known, if I want to be the most reputable? And there are some things, and I've shared this in the past. Think about your digital marketing strategy like a pie, like a pizza pie, right? And oftentimes you get sold different services by different agencies. We used to run this program called the Accelerator, which was about 1 to 2 slices of the pizza pie, left with the other elements which create a bigger impact, not only on your closing ratio, but in your ability to build a brand and also stand apart from everyone else. Because ultimately, Maddie, we were talking, I don't know which kind we were talking about. It's like, hey, everyone could be running the same ads. Like, like I have 20 competitors running concrete coating ads, and they're all copying each other.
Yeah.
And the question is, how do you differentiate yourself? So that's where this topic, I want to make sure as we're kicking off the season, you are empowered and and you're mapping out this strategy. We'll also make some resources available for you to download so that you can leverage that as a checkpoint here, and you can go through the list and know where you're at with your digital ecosystem for 2024.
All right, Danny. So let's start with the first question.
Yeah.
What exactly is the 7-11-4 strategy? What does that mean?
Yeah. So during this study, 0 moment of truth from Google, 7 hours of engagement, a consumer before they make a purchase decision, an engaged buying decision, they spent an average of 7 hours of engagement with a business, 11 touch points, and 4 separate locations, meaning 4 different channels.
Wow.
And that's what it means.
All right, so let's break that down. Let's break that down into each piece. What does 7 hours of engagement mean? What is that? What are 11 touch points? Let's break that down into like what that means.
Beautiful. So you think about the 7 hours of engagement, that's consumption. And we're talking about not small ticket item like under $30 where you just see an ad or someone just endorsing a product and they go to the Amazon link and purchase. No, this is like a decision being made, say remodeling. You got to get a new driveway. You want to get concrete coatings. Like this is the first time maybe you just purchase a home. You start to see the ads. Now you start going through the research process, and that's the engagement. Is what and who are they consuming information from? And this is one of the biggest pivots that we've made over the past 2 years, Maddie, is just going from an offer ad on Facebook advertising to now, hey, how do we get and empower our clients so that their advertising journey, even just in a single channel like Facebook, someone is consuming more information. If you follow us, which you should, at Contractor Click on Facebook and watch some of these videos, if you watch 50% of our videos, you're going to most likely see a remarketing. That's what, Andres, you want to speak to that level because you can create more engagement within a single platform, and then we can string it together with other platforms. So I want you to just simplify that.
Yeah,
And explain it.
if someone is on Facebook, they might not be ready to jump off of Facebook and go to a website and be ready yet to make a decision. They might want to stay on Facebook longer. So if you have a video that remarkets and leads to another video, it educates your potential customers along the way and builds that trust. Plus, they already wanted to get on Facebook or say YouTube. You can have a YouTube video leading to another YouTube video and almost creating a funnel experience or a path for them so that it's watch, it's click, and people are a little more chaotic than we think they might
Right.
be or that we desire them to be in marketing. Think about yourself. Put yourself in that psychological, I'm thinking about buying something. You're going to be clicking around. You're going to be opening articles. But there's going to be a lot of hours consumed. And once they've consumed a little bit, it's nice because we know that. And we can loop back to them. So once they've given us a little bit of their time, we can almost guarantee that they will see us again.
Beautiful. So, one thing I want you to do right now is make sure you go and subscribe to our channel, whether you're listening to this on Spotify, on Apple, Amazon, or YouTube, or maybe listening in on one of our socials. Make sure that you follow us and connect with us. Okay, let me stop there for a second.
Yeah.
And this is a teaching moment. You see what I did there? This is a single channel right now. You might be listening to us or you might be watching this. What I just did right there is just plant the seeds. I've already done it like 3 or 4 times during this last few minutes of you listening. And I ask you to go to a different channel, right? I ask you to go and check out our YouTube video, our Facebook videos for consumption, and maybe planted the seeds. If you consume 50%, now you can go and get retargeted and remarketed. Well, what we do as marketers and as advertisers is we create that experience for your customers, prospective customers, because the thing is that this is where the multi-channel comes into play, where it might not be a single channel, but like you're saying, you might have an ad rolling and maybe there might be a project highlight that they need to go and see on a website. Now that's a different touch point. Now they go to the website and maybe they hop off of that website and they go elsewhere online. Guess what? They might see a retargeting ad. They might see a display ad. And the goal of the display ad is not to convert that individual right away, but it's to continue to have that
Reminder
that brand.
almost, right? Because I don't think people are always ready. Like,
Right.
how long did it take you to decide to make a big purchase? Think about that.
Yeah.
Did you make that big purchase just on a whim, or did you have to have it kind of pop back into your mind again and again, and then finally you decided this is worth it? It might be that you read an article about the pros and cons of this product versus this product, and you spent, 10 minutes reading that article. That's part of this journey.
I think there's also another good one that's also almost not, we're not talking about it too much, but I think it's valuable, especially like when, like, say these digital medias like go down, because that happens. There is value in email marketing too, and you can drive people to your website, to your YouTube channel, to your Facebook page, to your social media channels through emails. So that's another valuable one too, that's a good touch point.
So, Maddie, what are the ways that they would be collecting these emails? As a contractor, you don't want it to only be people that have already purchased floors, but some people are more likely to move and purchase from you again. How would you gain that email client potential list? And
if you run Facebook ads and you have run Facebook ads in the past, you have a ginormous list of emails that you always have at your disposal. And sometimes, like, I feel that maybe when I speak to certain contractors, they feel like, well, the sale is gone. It's no longer a viable, like, client. But you don't know that. You don't know if right now during tax season, that lead that you collected in November is ready to buy your product. And if you've been showing up in front of them with videos and with emails, with retargeting, you don't know if right now you're going to get 10% of those people and they're going to be ready to purchase your product that you originally thought that they were no longer, viable. Like we have one particular person that we work with, and I love that he calls his his pipeline of people that haven't committed to yet. He calls it like something like the bucket list of potential like money, and he sees it as this like potential client bucket, and he's constantly like sending emails and stuff to them because you don't know. So
And there's real people on the other end of
Yeah.
that. They might it might pop up and they're not interested, but their neighbor's like, you know what, I want to
Right.
get this work done. I want this fence put in. And they're like, hey, my fencing guy just emailed me. I think they're running a new sale or promotion. Let me give you that information. That is an offline connection, but
Right.
the more rapport you build with your customers and they trust you, they're more likely to talk about you if you're coming back into their life rather than
Right.
at that one time.
And what about home shows? If you've been to, I've been speaking to people this past couple weeks. Have been doing tons of home shows. This is home show season. You should be collecting emails. You should be collecting
100%.
emails and home shows. Like 100%. Do a giveaway. Give away a free Yeti. And
Free
then to
Yeti,
get a free
free
Yeti
floor,
or to get a free floor or to
50%.
get a free cooler or to get a free whatever, you have to give me your email, your name, and you don't even have to give me like, I mean, just give me your email and retarget them. Send them emails. Send them, you can take that email list and then you can retarget those people on Facebook too. It's a great, you should 1000% be collecting emails
Yeah.
in home shows.
That's one of the main drivers. And the other thing is your list, like treat them as humans, not just
Right.
as, okay, here's a potential opportunity. I get it. We've been trained, and you might have been trained to go after those leads and try to convert them. And then if they didn't convert, they're dead or they're not good leads, quote unquote. But if you make the effort to map out 12 months, like that's once a month. Dean Jackson, one of my mentors, one of the originators of the landing page concept online, he talks about what happens right after someone opts in. What's the experience for that specific prospect? And the second thing is understanding that some of these individuals might not convert in the first 100 hours. Like that's what everyone's looking for. It's
They
like,
want
hey,
that so badly.
they want
though.
that right
Yeah.
away. The greater majority of prospects that do not respond, if you just continue to follow up, they might convert year two. So what you invested last year, if you still have that access to that database, it's a very good idea to continue to communicate with them via email. So you guys, just a
Yeah.
quick show of hands here or feedback. Do you guys check your emails?
That's the first thing I check in the morning.
Do you check your emails?
I do.
Your email is not dead. Your ROI on an email, if you were to quantify what's my ROI on email marketing, and if you were to run this the right way, for a home improvement contractor, it's nuts. It's probably 200 to 1. That means for every $1 I spent, I can get a $200 back. Now, it's harder to get that initially. And the other thing is, when we start talking about the 7-11-4, if you think as a bigger company, meaning like enterprise value company, you want to capture not just the bottom of the funnel, which is what everyone is going after. It's like, hey, everyone wants a quote. No. If you're willing to invest in a relationship for some time and give out a consumer awareness guide, which again, Dean Jackson and Joe Polish, they talk about, you got to create your own consumer awareness guide or an idea kit, an idea guide, etc., to plant the seeds for someone that owns a home that may not be in the market to purchase your product or service, installation, etc. But you know what? They might want to be informed. And just the fact you're giving that out and building that list and you continue to communicate, now you can get leads for as little as $1, maybe sometimes under $1. Build that list and start continuing to funnel that relationship. And I like to always look at industries that are very heavy on lead generation, where the lead generation is extremely expensive. So you might see a lot of retirement advisors, like for investment advisors. You might see the television ads. Hey, call this number to get your free kit on whatever. Have you guys seen that?
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking? So that's lead generation. They're not selling them, hey, call us so that we can manage your investment portfolio. They're calling you so that you know what investments you should be thinking about if you're heading into
To
retirement.
educate.
To educate, they build that list, and now they take that and they have like 12 months, 24 months worth of follow-up built out for that. So
So I
I
keep
know
hearing you
that was
say
a lot.
it's a long game for
The
luxury and
bigger
higher
game, the bigger
ticket.
game is a long game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The bigger game. And that's how you build the brand consistently, etc. And in the middle of all that, like, this is the beautiful thing. Maddie, can you just speak a little bit into like budget allocation? Because people may be thinking like, oh, I just need to make money now. Now, it doesn't mean we're gonna stop lead generation efforts in getting leads for people that are in the market now, but you devote a segment of that for lead generation. And can you speak to that?
Well, yeah, I mean, that's one of my next questions anyway. Well, my next questions was going to be like, what's the value in diversifying your digital location? So, absolutely, like you can take, this is the thing, you can take a budget on Facebook. Say, I'm going to speak Facebook right now because that's the thing that I don't want to say I like the most, but it's
You are the
my
specialist.
favorite thing. I am the specialist in that department. So, you can take a budget on Facebook and you can take a teeny tiny portion of your, say you have a $100 a day budget, right? You can take that $100 a day budget and you can put it all into like lead generation, and that's it.
Right.
But you can also take that $100 a day budget and you can take 10% of it and you can put it towards awareness and branding. And that's going to bring you incredible results just altogether with only like $10. You can take a portion of that budget and you can allocate it towards people driving traffic to your website. You can take a portion of that budget. So what the point is that you don't need a huge giant budget per se to do a lot of these strategies. You could take a couple dollars a day to do YouTube remarketing, and it's not as, sometimes I feel like it may sound more intimidating than what it is. Oh, now I need another like $1,500 and $3,000 and $4,000. You don't need all that. You can take portions of what you have and you can allocate it into the right component to diversify where you're showing up in terms of your marketing.
Yeah, and let's talk about the channels right now.
Yeah.
So 7 hours of engagement. Think about content, right? So before we even get to channels, let's just clarify that. And maybe if you're writing this down or thinking about it, and if you're one of our growth partners here at Contractor Click, we are helping you build these assets so
Yeah.
that there is 7 hours worth of content that can be consumed by your prospects. We've talked about this in our master classes. They ask you answer the book. They ask you answer. There's a few questions, 5 questions specifically a prospect will want to have answered. Number 1 is cost. They want to know how much it is going to cost, or how do you arrive at the cost of that specific product or install. The second thing is problems. They want to know the problems, ups and downs, positives and negatives. We love doing that. In the podcast, we share what doesn't work for us, what's worked for Contractor Click and Concrete Marketing Crew. Another one is comparisons, this versus that, right? You might hear us talking about comparing different channels, or also comparing strategies, why our approach, Contractor Click's approach is different versus other approaches. And you see us, we walk the talk in this deal. We're intentional about that. And you on the other side, you might feel empowered after you listen to one of these shows. Best of. So people want to know what are the best in quality, best of. And oftentimes they might want to know other contractors in the area. It's not bad. And this is an important piece. It's not bad to also refer out to other contractors that are very good contractors in your area. Like if you're short-minded and saying, well, I never want to mention my competitors on my website, this book talks about that is actually a power play just by the mere fact that you're recommending and talking about other individuals, and they have their pros and cons as well. So, you can almost create and plant the seeds in your consumer's mind of how they should go about making a decision of choosing a specific contractor. And the last one is the reviews. They want to know the reviews for your business or for the actual fulfillment, the product that you've installed, the finished product, etc. So they ask you to answer. Those are the top 5 topics. And if you build a content strategy around that, plus you have your project highlights, That's more than enough for 7 hours of consumption.
Yeah.
And it doesn't need to be just in written content. What are the
Yeah,
type
that's
of
what I was gonna.
contents?
That's what I was gonna bring
are
up.
available.
Is there comes a time where you're maybe only recording videos and you're not writing it out in word form. There needs to be a combination of both.
Yeah.
Everyone has their preferences, and if they're in a waiting room, they might not be playing a video and wanting to hear it out loud, but they're willing to flip through an article and look at some pictures that showcase it. So I think that when you have that list, you're going to have best of in video form, best of in written form, and then short form video as well as photos. So you have several options there. And so that ends up getting you to 7 hours minimum. But if you don't even have 7 hours of content to consume, start with that. Start with those top 5.
Start with video. Video is the easiest to start with. And then you start packaging it up the right way. So we
Well,
were
and how
talking
many
about
times
this,
are
like-
our customers, our clients are pitching every day.
Yeah.
So they have this spiel in a sense. They know exactly how to say it to the potential clients. Now just record
Just record
it.
Just
Record
record
it.
it. Just get in front of the camera and do it.
You know, another piece of content that it's not in this the content marketing perspective, but it's more in the setting the expectation is our process, the process videos, right? Talking about the company background and what sets that company apart from everyone else, like the story behind the company. And now we can move into the separate location. So content, okay, so you have your website, that's your hub. Everything goes to the hub. We used to treat websites like purely for the SEO benefits. And that was highly influenced because Danny Barrera, that was the background that I brought to the table. I'm like, we can rank all of our clients' website. And if you just let me take over, like, we're going to rank you. Here's the biggest difference. Over the last 24 months, we've seen the shift in organic search. Please listen to this very careful. Organic search influence has started to drop. Google Maps influence has gotten more important than ever. So if you're not collecting reviews and you're not proactive and you're not following up with your already service clients and customers, you're losing ground. The biggest part, and where I'm going at, is the website should be the hub where you're constantly directing people to, but should not be the primary, like, say, I want to rank top 1, 2, 3 for these terms. It should be serving more as a reference for everything that you're doing. So people, whatever you talk about, your salespeople are talking about a specific installation process, etc. You send them over to the website. You get someone on the phone inquiring about your services. You can direct them to the website and walk them through so that is like the salesperson. Now,
It's a resource hub. Your website
It's a
basically
resource.
answers all these questions that people might have, and then it also showcases the face on several different places. Like who's
brand
going to be showing
showcases
up in
the
your
brand, right.
yeah.
And then from there, now we have the remarketing sequence, because now you've planted the seeds, you've directed them to the website, and guess what they're going to see when they go to Fox News, CNN, or they go to YouTube?
They're going to see your ads.
They're going to see you. So when we talk about the complete contractor program at Contractor Click, and we're looking at this digital ecosystem, it's that. So now we have the website, we have remarketing platforms. Look, if you're investing money into Facebook ads, you can certainly invest a few dollars a day in remarketing elsewhere.
For sure.
So that gives me 3 channels. You have your YouTube videos, which YouTube, it's big.
That's untapped. I think a lot of our contractors don't have YouTube channels. I mean, of course, you can run ads, but even just having a channel that showcases a couple of things.
Anything. Just run a time lapse and just load it up.
Time
there.
if you
Anything,
don't
you
want to
can do
get
anything.
fancy, time lapse is probably the most basic of it all.
I
But
think-
you know what I've noticed works really well is time lapse with voiceover.
Right. That's what I was gonna say. I think that when there's this paralysis to start. Oh my gosh, what do I do? It has to be a super polished video like the one that I love to watch from the person that's been posting videos on
Like
YouTube for the past like 2
HGTV,
years.
no,
just
no.
go back 2 years and see how they started. Start
You'll
basic,
never get
start
started
small,
if you're
start
waiting.
simple. Start, just start, just start. That's the only thing that matters. Just start, and then you can polish.
Yeah, you don't need the 4K quality videos out of the. Well, if you have the latest iPhone, that's all you need. Like that's more than enough to create pretty good videos, video ads, content videos, all of it. Just make sure if you're capturing audio that you have a mic. Otherwise, that becomes the biggest thing.
If it gets a
Yeah.
noisy job site, that can be a trouble.
They're grinding the
Yeah.
floor in the background.
Yeah.
I can barely hear the guy. That's happened, by the way. So.
But then, hey, you can go back
Fun
and
fact.
voice over. If it didn't work the first time, you can go back and voice over in the future, or save some of that B-roll. Like there's a lot of opportunity. Your world might seem boring to you. You do it every day, but it's fascinating to so many other people. There was such a fun video that I saw on Instagram the other day, and it was a customer throwing flake on his garage that he paid for. And he was so giddy and excited. And he said, I've wanted to have a floor like this since I was like 5 years old. And he was just thrilled to have them. He's like, I'm finally a homeowner. I finally get to do this. And it made me so happy because you think it's normal. We who don't experience it on a daily basis think it's fascinating. We love watching it. And there's something to be said as well about video content that is satisfying video content. There is the educational video content, but especially for people working with, unique products and colors, and there's really cool sound and satisfying content that can be shared as well.
Yeah, I want to share this with you, and if you're listening to this, make sure that you're subscribed to the Contractor Click podcast. Whether you're listening in on YouTube, on Spotify, Apple, etc., we're bringing a ton of more resources for you. So this is a little piece of homework for you. Go back to your past best 10 clients and survey them. And this is in the last 12 months. You could do the last 24, but ideally fresh, last 12 months. Survey them and ask them, hey, in exchange of a $25 gift card or whatever, $10 gift card, where are you spending the most time online? And then just give them a Google form. Like you could go to Google and create a free survey and then outline all the channels. You literally put Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, Twitter, LinkedIn, all of it, Google search. And you just want them to select and arrange, or, number one, put a number next to whichever one they go to first, because that's going to give you one of the biggest insights in your marketing strategy. And a Contractor Click, this has been one of the biggest changes, is how are we counseling and advising our clients, guiding our clients to understand that their market is very different than someone else's that has crushed in a different state, different area. Like your demographic, your ideal client base, it's very different than someone else. So if you go to a Facebook group and someone's giving you their winning strategy and you try to apply that exact same thing, some things might work, but it's not going to be the most ideal for your best clients. So the other thing is your avatar will probably change as you go from a under 1 million to a 1.5 to a $2.5 million company. Once you cross that $3 million to the 5, your avatar will be adjusted. Like it might upgrade because you're not willing to take some sort of jobs here. So just pay attention to that, but that's homework. Understand the channels, because the separate locations, you got email, you got SMS, you got social media channels, you have your website, you have Google, YouTube, etc. You got to be clear on what those channels and be intentional about them. As far as I know, everyone has a mobile device. Guess what? They get text messages. So that's actually
Text
a channel.
message is amazing.
Yeah, that's
It's
a great channel.
powerful. Don't abuse it, but make sure that you're nurturing it, leveraging it the right way. Email is another one we talked about. Highest ROI.
I have one that we
channel.
haven't talked about that
Yep.
I think is a great one. What about podcasts?
Hey.
Oof.
Podcasts are a great.
You don't have to start your own podcast tomorrow, but you could be a guest on a podcast.
What podcast?
Well, you could be a guest on this
Send us a
podcast.
message. That's right. If
Yeah.
you're a client of Contractor Click, we're planning some amazing things out for you. Best known contractor in town. We want to highlight you and have you share your story, what are some of the ways that they could leverage a podcast?
So you're looking for your potential clients to get to know you more. Well, come on, tell your story. Tell what sets you apart, what's unique about your company, and actually have that conversational questions being asked and answered. And then those videos can be used on your social media. They can be run as ads. And I think it's a great opportunity. A lot of times you might not be ready to sit down and record a video, but with a podcasting style, we ask the questions and you answer them. It's a little more conversational.
Right. And when you're on our podcast, we'll give you some video snippets that you can use on your social media. So that's a great leverage point.
And if you don't have, video editing team, or you're not one of our clients, I'll give you a freebie here. Go to Opus, go to Descript. There's resources, AI resources that can clip. They'll literally take the full form, you pop it in, upload it, and it'll say, I think that this will be the most viral part of it. And it'll give a recommendation of a segment. And, sometimes that doesn't always work. You obviously have to go back and look, but it'll caption things out for you. It makes it easier. So that's a wonderful resource. And those clips can be on a YouTube channel. You can put the long form on your YouTube channel. And that, to me, is something that not a lot of people in this industry have fully embraced.
Right.
So it's, again, if you're wanting to set yourself apart, take that next step. What's the next opportunity for you?
Well, I wish Christian was mic'd up. Can you get yourself mic'd up or no? Yeah, Christian is our producer in the podcast. Can you speak to the power of podcasting? What he's done for businesses? I mean, you're an engineer. You know what goes on, but the impact that it has on businesses.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen a lot of podcasts. Obviously, that's what I do for my day job. But essentially, I mean, I think podcasting is one of the best ways to organically market a business because it comes off as non-salesy, and I think that's a really important thing, in today's world, because there's so many schemes and ads and things going on at once that when you see an organic clip of somebody talking about their business or speaking about a product they have in a non-salesy way, maybe to a guest or somebody else on the show, I think it is so valuable.
And what do you think makes a good podcast? Say for a home improvement contractor, what would make it a good podcast?
That's kind of a tough question for me, but it depends on I think first you should establish who your listeners should be, and then you should work backwards from there. But just interesting tips, stories. I always like a story, a good story. Who doesn't like a good story?
We're made for it.
We're made for
stories.
it. Exactly. So I think those are really big things, as well as obviously the newest cutting edge technology on that field is always a good thing, no matter what podcast it is.
I love it. Thank you so much, man. Christian, we'll make sure to tag you on this snippet here.
Wish we could have seen him.
I mean,
though.
if you love this
Face.
podcast, hey, at least give us a review here for Christian. Give him a shout out. What's your social media handles here? Let's give us a shout out.
Our business page is Podcast Junkies. I believe Studios. I actually don't know the full.
Yeah, I think so.
Name. I believe
It's all
it's just look up Podcast Junkies. You'll find us.
Podcast Junkies.
And then my personal is Christian_Perello. You can always reach out on either one.
Beautiful. So the big thing is, for me, it's all about being authentic. You want to stand out in a noisy world where everyone's running the same ad, same offer. You can make any website look good these days. Anyone can take pictures. Anyone can get a brand and beautiful logo, and everything looks good. But it's still static. It's kind of like, it's just there. The moment that someone else hears your voice and gets to know you, and you get to tell your family story, how you got started, you get to showcase some of the project highlights. Hey, let me walk you through this one. What was the biggest problem about this project? People that are shopping you, that's 7 hours. That's more than 7 hours you can build in like 2 or 3 project highlights. Talk about the problems. Talk about, hey, what was the cost in this project? Now you send that to your prospects. Now you have people consume your podcast. And guess what? You can have it in video format. I'm so big on doing a video and then taking it into audio. But you could also have an audio-only podcast. What else do you have to say on that?
Yeah, one of the things I will remind you of as you're going into new realms. Maybe you've never had an Instagram or you've never had a YouTube channel. Make sure that someone stumbling upon your page or clicking through an ad and finding you, that they know where you're located, exactly what you do, because time and time again, I'm looking at some of our followers and some of the people we follow, and I go to their page and I can't tell where they are located. And especially with
Isn't that
YouTube, where
funny?
it's a worldwide,
Yeah.
thing, a website, it's a worldwide thing. You're assuming people know. They do not
They do not know where you are.
You got to optimize all that. Make sure you're always leveraging all those bios and descriptions and places and
That's so good.
optimize it.
Yes. Optimize all the profiles.
Mm-hmm.
And then even on your website, like it's not, how many websites have you been to where you don't know where they're located? Like you see the phone number, you see the form in there, but that lowers the trust score on your business. So just
Call out
mention, hey, we service the
every
entire
city,
whatever area.
like the region. I mean, how would you recommend specifically calling that out? Because obviously there's little cities, there's towns. Where are you willing to go? That's who you need to be talking to and telling them, like,
Yes.
I serve your area,
Yes.
exactly this area, and that'll help you be noticed and the SEO side of things. But it's super important if someone goes to your website that they know where you're located. And Instagram, Facebook, same thing. Put it in your profile bio. Exactly, easy to find.
Easy. Just quite literally pin serving so-and-so territory and surroundings. Like that's the easiest way.
And tag the location
Tag
that you're
the
in.
you could do that, yeah.
Like
Yeah.
when you post on Instagram, like we're not serving only our local area as Contractor Click. We serve the entire United States, right? So we don't generally do location all the time in our posts. But if you're marketing for a region, tag the cities all the time. That will help you show up in the city profiles on stories, tag the city that you're in.
That's a good tip.
And it's valuable. People need to know where you are.
That's a
Beautiful.
good one. I only have one more question.
Yeah.
So I know we've talked about it throughout the whole podcast, but let's synthesize and let's kind of, because this is like almost like the hardest part for people in general. Where do you start? How do you start? How do you start implementing this strategy?
Perfect. So 7 hours of engagement. Map out what do you want people to engage with and where and how, and map out that strategy. And look, if you want to be part of Contractor Click, there's a criteria for you to be a client, but maybe you want just some guidance and coaching, etc. Reach out to us. We have a growing community, coaching community where we can help you and guide you along the way. But for you to start out on your own after this podcast, map out what does that look like. And if you want some reading, if you like to read or maybe research a little bit more, They Ask, You Answer. That's a great framework for creating content that's consumable. And then you can create that content on video format, on a podcast format, and get that sorted out on your website, on your social medias, and have that already ready to go. Publish it. Put in the work. If you're one of our Contractor Click partners, guess what? We help you and we get it done for you. So you don't have to worry about any of that. And it's all using your voice, your business, your brand, your assets. All of it is yours. You just leverage our team and our guidance to make sure that it's in the best production. The second thing is the touch points. Mapping out the touch points. We talked about different channels. The main touch points that I want you to consider is emails. When someone opts in as a lead, what communications are they hearing in what frame and format? 11 touch points doesn't mean that you need 11 channels. It means you're going to touch that prospect in different ways within the first 100 hours. For us, it's like, okay, email, you have SMS, you have the phone calls that you're calling them, as well as what else are you doing for someone that subscribes to your channels, etc. The touch points I want you to think about is like, okay, what do I want them to do next? Is it to book an estimate, to book an appointment?
Tell them what to do next.
It basically, but there's also in your CRM, someone might already be estimate provided.
Partway
Now
through.
the touch point becomes a monthly touch point for them, which is you're reactivating them, asking them if they're ready, or you're sending them a monthly newsletter, which is a soft touch point to stay in front of them and engaging with your audience on social media. Those are touch points. And then the 4 separate locations. Look, search, it's not going anywhere. Search is evolving how we communicate and manage search. You have paid search, you have the maps, Google Maps listing, you have organic search results within just the search. You have Facebook and Instagram. That ecosystem there is owned by Meta, advertising and posting content. And then you have other channels like the podcast channels and your website. Your website in itself should be the hub for it all to come together. So when we're looking at all the channels and how you want people to engage with you, map that out. And if you need assistance in implementing Contractor.click, go ahead and contact us there. See if your territory is available. We're only working with a select few partners that we know we can crush it with. And ultimately, this will, Maddie, how long does it take for someone to see an ROI with this?
Right away.
You
Right
had
away.
one of our clients said, we're month 2.
Oh my gosh, yeah, month 2. He's like, everything's like picking up. It's so great, like month 2. So right away, month 1, you're already, week 2, you're already going to be getting Facebook leads. So that's already off the bat, like right
In
away.
what week?
Like by week
Yeah.
1, we launch
Once you're
it.
set up.
Yeah, as soon as you set up.
Month one, you're an ROI
you're good.
positive.
Yes,
if you're
already.
not here's
Already.
the thing.
If you're not selling, that's
if you're
a
ready
different
to
story.
sell, month 1, you're ROI
Yes.
positive, 100%.
100%.
Like, you're not gonna be like there hasn't been a case
But
unless
the
someone's not
difference-
calling them
right.
their leads. Yeah.
But they're already seeing the difference of not just the Facebook lead generation, but the whole comprehensive program by month 2. Like it's already a big difference.
Once they have the new website, so we set our clients up with a high converting website, better than their current it's converting at. That's a big thing. And then better content, and then the content strategy being implemented. So by month 2, so month good is good, month 1 is good, month 2 is better, month 3 and beyond is just a snowball effect.
Yeah.
And that's what's beautiful about it. So Contractor.click, if you're interested on that. And also if you're interested in just learning how to implement it for your business. Like there's a lot of couples where maybe the husband is running the business and the spouse wants to take over the marketing internally. We have an incredible coaching team that we've assembled and we're excited about to empower you to run your own advertising, teach you what we're talking about here so that you know how to do it. One thing I want to talk about here, this thing called, look, I had to take Quad Espresso.
You ran
here.
out. You ran out of your magic
I
mind.
ran out of my magic mind.
Magic Mind's great.
Maddie, give us your feedback because you don't believe in all those.
I don't. So this is a little bit of a comment, and I don't want to.
We're in like productivity mode here.
Yeah, I don't want to say that this is like like whatever, but I have ADHD for real. I truly do. Like I'm diagnosed person with ADHD, and when I drink Magic Mind, it's like my focus like just turns on. It's so good.
How long did it last for you?
It lasted for me a good, I want to say like 4 to 5 hours.
Mine. Okay, so here's my routine: Quad Espresso, and then a Celsius later on, or I might just drink another cup of coffee. Like that's, I'm not happy about that. I'm working. I'm working on, and I'm being 100% with you. I'm working on minimizing the amount of caffeine that I take because it's not cool. It's not. But
it's
Magic
got
Mind,
good stuff for
Magic
you.
Mind replaces those two with one shot.
Didn't you
And-
take it to the conference that you guys went to?
Yeah,
as well?
we did a conference at the Concrete Critics Mastermind right
Yeah.
before. Remember, before our prayer, I said, Maddie.
Yeah.
Maddie
You
was,
literally was like, here, drink this. And I was on stage and I was like focused on what I had to do. And it's such
Laser
good.
sharp.
Yeah, laser focus. And it has good ingredients, which is the best part. It's got good ingredients. It's not like, it doesn't have any of that
Don't
other
take
like,
it.
messy
Don't
stuff.
take it past 4 p.m.
It's not a
No,
Because
you
you're
won't
gonna
sleep.
regret.
No,
Don't
no,
take
you
it.
won't sleep.
I did it one day. I'm like,
You were up till 3 a.m.
The first day where I got the Amazon package,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm like, okay, let me take a sip. I was up until 3. I couldn't
Yeah.
go to sleep, and I was sharp. I was creative. I'm like, man, this thing is so good.
Danny got a bonus day in between his days. The fun thing is, I know like you guys are such a productive group of people. You guys are entrepreneurs, business owners. And so we do have a coupon code that we're going to link for Magic Mind as well.
Ooh,
So
you got a coupon code?
yeah, I'll
for
put it
us?
in the
Nice.
description.
Hey, make sure put me on that subscription.
Yeah, you
I
need
ran
it.
out of it.
It's
I
just
ran
for
out of
you,
it.
Danny.
Yeah,
You just need the coupon code for your
I'm
own
gonna use
self.
all of them. No, it's cold hard truth. It's pretty good, and I'm the type of individual I run in a lot of caffeine, and it's pretty good. I mean, I can truly get rid of the Celsius and the Quad Espresso,
Yep.
which that's a lot of caffeine with one bottle.
Do you have another order coming in yet?
Yeah.
You do.
So I wanted to have it before the show. I just didn't order in time. That's the one thing you want to do is order ahead of time, getting that subscription mode, and
Well,
make sure
yeah.
no one else takes the bottles
Exactly.
because they will.
We're on the subscribe and save now on Amazon. So that's
Yeah.
good stuff.
Yep. Yeah. So, anyways, team, what's your main takeaway, and what would you encourage the listener on the other side? Because this is a big topic.
Yeah.
It's digital ecosystem. This is not a single channel, how to get more leads, how to get 50 leads, and you're going to win. No, this is like you're building a business that is sustainable, is profitable, is growing. You're standing above and beyond your competitors. Like there's no match.
Take the next step along the way. So as you're expanding and growing, you're building a network, you're building an ecosystem. It might take a little bit of time to roll all of these ideas out and actually implement them, but create a plan to make it happen because it's worth it and it will continue to grow your business if you take opportunity.
Maddie?
Yeah, absolutely. You have to do it. You just have to do it. There's no excuses. Just do it. You have to do it. You have to get it. You have to think about it. You have to implement it. You have to plan it. And whether you plan it and you implement it with somebody like Contractor Click, or you do it on your own, you got to do it. You just have to do it.
Or if you have someone else, it doesn't need to be Contractor Click.
Right. You just have to do
because
it.
even if we want to, we can't serve everyone under the
Right.
sun. Like there's
Absolutely.
other partners that can do it. I don't think. So I've coached hundreds of marketing agencies. I've taken over a dozen agencies to multi-million dollars last couple of years. And here's what I got to tell you. Even when I coach them and teach them, there's still a handful of individuals that I'm coaching at this point. The main thing is like the fulfillment. They're not doing it at this extent. So to find someone that can do it at this extent that we're doing it, this is why we're making the focus in empowering you, bringing you education, the coaching program, expanding that so that you can come in, consume, learn. Because you might have to learn how to tell your team, whoever's fulfilling for you, tell them what you need done. Because they don't know. You might think that they know better. They know how to market in an old, archaic way. And if the strategy hasn't evolved with the times, AI has just changed the game for everyone. So you don't have that opportunity. And the other thing is, like, if you're just trusting on a single channel and say that there's a client of ours that's implemented at full capacity, I mean, you're going to be left in the dust, and that's not cool. So just be empowered by the fact that I want you to think bigger, dream bigger, and what does your business deserve? What does your family deserve? What does your employees deserve at the end of the day? How do you want to showcase them? And if you're ready to grow, go for it. Build an ecosystem that's synergistic, that plays along with each other. End of the day, your customers, clients are going to thank you because you're showing up better for them. So thank you for tuning in to another episode of Contractor Click Podcast. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, and we'll see you on the next one. Take care.